Pages.
Ba, ba, ba-da-da, ba, ba, bring. Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. I don't know if we're up on YouTube right now, but we're just going to start talking. We got lasers and all of that, too.
All the lasers.
Welcome to another edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant with Greg Bergman and Parker Bell. And it's Wednesday. I'm really not sure what day it is.
I woke up thinking it was Thursday, Marcus. So, that's just where I'm at right now.
All right.
In my eyes, it's Andy Pages Day.
It is Andy. Every day right now is Andy Pages Day. A huge night last night for Pages in the win over the Padres, 8-6, the final score. We will get into that. We will get into a little bit of beanball wars and everything else that happened at Dodger Stadium. But first, I want to give a shout out to the folks at LAX. They are transforming the travel experience. They are saving guests time. The People Mover train expected to be up and running early next year, so that is exciting as well. If you need more information, you can go to flylax.com/transforminglax. The Dodgers win another one against the Padres. They have taken 4 of the first 5 games between the two teams this season, and last night, as though this rivalry wasn't already heated enough, things got a little bit testy, a little back and forth. First, Fernando Tatis gets hit in the back. Maybe or maybe not retaliation for Andy Pages getting hit on the elbow the night before. And then Shohei takes one in the leg. And Parker, you sent us the photo from Shohei's Instagram story last night, which, I mean, look, I get it. It hurts, right? Getting thumped in the leg like that. But the picture was pretty much comedy.
Shohei's got a great sense of humor. He's been doing this his whole career, and I'm just happy that now it's with the Dodgers. And I mean, he's so vocal on social media. His stories every single night. You don't think that he would do it as big as a star as he is, but he's like, he gives me LeBron James, where like they actively try to be funny on social media, except Shohei's a little less corny with it.
I mean, Shohei.
LeBron corny? You call him LeBron? I'm just kidding.
I mean, until Shohei starts, shouting Taco Tuesday, I think we're okay in that regard. But on the field, we were talking about it before the show, Greg. I mean, Andy Pages has been an absolute monster this year, has already surpassed his season high in home runs from last year, a pair of them last night, 4 hits. I don't know if we need to start our own Blue Review campaign, but we've got to do something to get this man to Atlanta for the All-Star game.
I mean, he needs to be in the All-Star game, but we were also talking about beforehand that he's not going to get voted in. People just don't know the name Andy Pages, but if they are watching baseball right now, and usually when it's a Dodgers-Padres series and the amount of star power that's on these two teams, people tend to watch in different parts of the country, and they should be seeing Andy Pages, whether it's his eyes bulging wide because he got hit by Dylan Cease and he wants to destroy everybody on the team. He'd just be like Amir Garrett and take the whole team on by himself, or because he's going 4 for 4 with 2 home runs and leading the Dodgers to 2 wins over the Padres. He needs to be in the All-Star game, and I just hope that he can find some way to get voted in. I just don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I don't think the vote's going to go his way just because the fan voting is a popularity contest, which is why you see names that right now are leading of guys who have barely played this year. We mentioned before the show, Mike Trout, who missed an extended period of time, but he's getting votes because everybody knows Mike Trout. Same with Ronald Acuna, who missed a good chunk of the season, just came back recently, but he's getting a lot of votes because people know the name Ronald Acuna. As you mentioned, people don't really know Andy Pages like that, although I think people around the country are starting to get to know him. The other part is that he's sort of like, he's on a team with a ton of stars, right? You've got 3 former MVPs. You've got Kershaw. You've got 4 former MVPs. You've got Will Smith, who on pretty much half the other teams in the league would be the star player. But, in Los Angeles, he's maybe the 4th best offensive player on paper. It's really hard for a guy like Andy Pages to break through, but he has been absolutely fantastic. So
Teoscar Hernandez is going to get voted in. Yeah. Should he be voted in? Probably not.
Probably not.
Here. I mean, he was hurt for a little while. His numbers were pretty good before he got hurt, but they fell off more recently. He does hit a couple more home runs, but PCA, absolutely belongs in there.
Yes,
It should
100%.
100% be in there. So then it becomes just you only have so many spots to give, and outfield is very, very full. Like you said, Acuna, Teo. There's not
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll.
Corbin Carroll's going to get there. Yeah, for sure. But I would, hey, look, Dodger fans, this is your moment, right? Go out, vote early, vote often, try to stuff the ballot box for Andy Pages if possible, because the man is absolutely deserving of a spot in Atlanta. 4 for 4 last night, 2 home runs, 3 RBI, 3 runs scored. Just another hell of a night for Andy Pages. What did you guys think of the bullpen? Greg, start with you, because Jack Dreyer comes in, he goes 2 innings, gives up a run. Lou Trevino gives up a couple of runs. He also plunks Tatis in the back. Matt Sauer, I guess a little bit of redemption. I know he did give up 3 runs and found himself in some trouble. I don't think it was a stellar night for the bullpen, Greg, but they kind of did their job in terms of keeping the Dodgers in position to win.
They got through it. It was terrifying down the stretch because Kopech got out of it, and then Bondo, he had to force his way out of it. It was a scary point down the stretch. I thought the bullpen did pretty good. You used the guys that you thought you had to use in that situation and not try to burn your arms. They did have to use Kopech, Bonda on 3 days. Bonda, I think it was 3 days, right? So Bonda 3 days, Tanner Scott 3 days. Mm-hmm. They're now burned probably for the next 2 games, you would have to assume. So that was the only thing that hurt, and you don't have a lot of guys in there anymore. So but I thought they did what they were supposed to do. Sauer did what I thought he was going to do: give up some runs. That's just how that was going to go. So, but otherwise, it's more. I'm worried about what today looks like, and I was trying to figure it out before the show, Parker, about what's available. Emmett Sheehan can only go 3 or 4 innings tops. Justin Wrobleski in the bulk, we've seen what Wrobleski can do and also what he usually does do. He can be really good. He usually is very bad. And after that, I think it's only like a Vezia is available. It's Jack Dreyer, I guess you can still use. Trevino you can still use. Kirby Yates is going to be available. And that's really where we're stuck at.
Yeah, stuck is a good word for today specifically, Greg. The hope is that Yama and Greg, you mentioned this, will give the Dodgers 7 on tomorrow. But for today, Wrobleski is going to be giving us that, if you look back at last year, that Honeywell, where you're just going to, sorry, buddy, take the belt, and it's going to be a fun one. But I really have faith that Sheehan's going to come out here. He's going to be pumped up. You look at Shohei's performance yesterday, that adrenaline kind of saw the command go a little bit, but the speed was there. I think we're going to see the same thing from Sheehan. He's going to be pumping that fastball, and the movement's going to be there, but it's going to be a little bit of command issues just based off of pure adrenaline. But I can see him going just about 3 or 4 solid innings, and as long as there's run support, then who knows? I think the Dodgers, the offense guys, the offense Marcus last night was just out, even outside of Pages, they looked locked in.
They very much were locked in, and which is wild that they scored 8 runs in the ball game with a combined 0 for 8 from Shohei and Mookie Betts. In fact, Shohei, the golden sombrero, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Well, you know what that means, Marcus?
It means he hits a couple bombs tonight.
First pitch swinging. I'm taking that bet.
He's hitting dingers tonight, because I can't imagine Shohei continuing to slump like that after last night for sure. But Freddie with a couple of hits last night, Will Smith with that epic at bat, fouling off a bunch of pitches, and on the 12th pitch hits a home run to left center field off Jeremiah Estrada. Just a lot of contributions from a lot of different places, and that's kind of what these guys do, and that's what they need in order to be successful. So definitely looking forward to seeing this offense come back again tonight for the Dodgers. Look, they continue to play well in, I would say, the face of adversity, but through this stretch, right? We're almost near the end. There's 2 games left in this big death march. They are 16-11 at this point. They are guaranteed to finish this run with a bigger division lead than when they started it. It's just a half game lead when they started it. And right now, what are they, 3.5 on the Giants and 5 on the Padres? Yeah. So, it's been a really, really amazing stretch. To your point, Greg, somebody's going to maybe have to wear some innings tonight. We will see sort of how that goes. But I don't know. this has been kind of everything we could have anticipated at this point, Greg.
Yeah, no, this is exactly what you wanted. I mean, you now have won, I think it's now it's 4 of 5 against the Padres.
Yep.
In this opening series. They took 2 of 3 from the Giants. They are showing that when they're playing against the teams that they need to play, that they can get those wins, and that they're still the top dog in this conference. And this football's coming up. It's been on my brain in this division, and it's just over and over again. And I want to go back to that Estrada out at bat too with Will Smith. He was so good, and they were talking about it. This is why I love Eric Carroll so much right now. He's just saying, like, dude, he actually said it out loud. Dude, you are so good with your splitter. Throw the splitter. Just throw the splitter. It's like 2 for 24 with like 2 RBIs or whatever it happened to be. And he just wouldn't throw it. He kept throwing the fastball, even though Will Smith was getting a piece of it and didn't. God, it was just, it's so funny that he tried to get one by him and Will was like, nah, get out of here. Take that.
Well, I was watching it even before Caro said anything. I'm like, okay, he keeps throwing these fastballs. I'm like, well, the splitter's coming, right? Like he's throwing these high fastballs. Smith keeps fouling them off, and in my head, I'm like, well, here comes the splitter. You know, I wouldn't blame Smith if he chases it and strikes out, and it just never happened. And then finally, he gets one down and in that he sort of golfs out to left center field. So it just an incredible at bat all around. We want to talk about Dave getting tossed last night. Dave Roberts getting ejected.
Good for Dave.
I have some footage. So our buddy Lucas over there at the office, Lucas Tequino, was there, and he sent me just like a separate angle of what you didn't see on the TV. And he was trying. You could tell from the broadcast, but he was trying his darndest to get ejected, just to maybe make that statement. He's done this before, of course, first time this year. But I love when Dave is like, you know what? I'm turning it on. You know, he's not necessarily an aggressive guy, but his finger pointing and his like trying to get the message across, it's beautiful. And it did give a message to the team like, hey, I got your back. I know that there's some animosity between these two teams. Manny said, oh, if we're going to hit anybody, there's bigger dogs to hit. And I saw the Dodgers social media team. I think their caption was big dog, Andy Paez. So everybody's keeping receipts, including Dave Roberts. It's amazing.
Isn't that the same thing that happened last year, though, with the Padres when someone hit Will Smith was saying that a relevant player in Profar? Like, you're doing the exact same thing. Of course, you're not trying to hit. I don't think they were trying to hit Andy Paez. He just thought it was because of what it was. But I love Dave getting ejected for just all those reasons. The fact that he was getting it. I don't understand why he was ejected unless he was actually trying to, because they shouldn't have gotten a warning. It should have been a warning to the Padres just because Trevino was not trying to hit Tatis.
It's in the MLB. Trevino is not a dude known for pinpoint accuracy. Like, I don't think he's trying to hit Fernando Tatis.
No, but they were trying to hit Shohei. Like, that was absolutely obvious. And so him to go out there and be like, look, it's obvious that you're going after Shohei. The whole thing was just crazy. I love that they pan to the bullpens because they're right up against the wall, like the wall. Is this our time to go to have a quick jog? And then we'll jog right back.
Just kind of scratching their bellies at the gate, like, is it time to go?
Have you ever been to a game where like the bullpen's empty? Have you ever seen that like in person?
No.
I was at the game, and this is a weird random memory for some baseball fans where Rafael Iglesias threw the I think Rendon was playing too. This is a Halos game, of course. I was an OC at the time.
3 games that he played with.
Iglesias threw like a big ass bucket of Hubba Bubba, or like he threw the bubble gum at the other team. I think it was the Gardos, but I'm not sure. That was the only time I've ever been there, and there was no hands thrown. I don't think. Actually, no, there was. There was a left-handed punch thrown from Rendon, and that's how he got. Whatever.
All right.
Well, he never plays anyways.
I went to one. This was actually at Dodger Stadium. I want to say it was like a interleague game against the Mariners years ago, and I don't remember what started it, but I do remember everybody coming running out of the bullpens. But it was like you said, everybody runs out, and then they just kind of stand around and stare and yell and point at each other, and then everybody goes back to where they came from.
It's
sort of
really
thing.
just the Amir Garrett one is the one that I just love the most out of all of them. I know I mentioned him earlier, but he was with the Reds and he wanted to take on, I think it was the Brewers. He wanted to take on the entire team by himself, and he had to be held back. It was phenomenal. The picture of him going after the entire team and him by himself is so good.
It was, by the way, it was the Mariners, and he threw a punch with a cast. That's the only reason it's on my mind. I see E2788 saying always talking about the Angels.
Yeah.
It was a unique moment.
I feel like that's worthwhile, right? It's not something you see every day, so that sort of makes sense.
Can I bring something up? And I saw it in the chat, and I brought it up on our text chain too. The golden sombrero that Shohei had. Is it anything to you that it was the day after that he pitched and he hit in that he gets the golden sombrero? Is that connected to you, or is just like, oh, it just happened to be that he struck out 4 times because he strikes out a lot?
I'm going with it being coincidence last night. Now, it's worth monitoring, right? The next time he pitches, if the next day he comes out and looks awful at the plate, then maybe it's worth paying attention to. Right now, I'm just chalking this up as a coincidence. He pitched one day, the next night, he faced some left-handers who were really, really tough on him. I mean, Vasquez kept throwing that curveball down and in that was giving him problems. So I'm not ready yet to say that these two things are connected.
Here we go. E7, whatever your name is in the chat. I'm going to bring up the Halos again. Watching him, obviously, like since 2018, pitching, and then the day after, there were a lot of days where he would go 1 for 5 and whatever it may be. But I need to do some Jeff Spiegel type research to really find out if there's a connection. I think genuinely this time there was extra fatigue because he had so much adrenaline in that one inning that he pitched. And then he went on to really try to get the W on the hitting side. So I think that he was just catching some weird swings there, and it's going to happen to Shohei. He has 20 plus more strikeouts than the next closest guy on the team. So
yeah, he strikes out a ton. It just happened to be a golden sombrero. This is the first time he's done it with the Dodgers, though. I think it's just something, like Marcus said, is something to just kind of look at. I don't really equate it to it. It just happened to happen on the day after. So that's going to be the topic of discussion for that whole thing. He's going to continue to pitch. He's going to continue to hit, and he's going to continue to hit on the next day, and he's going to be just fine. But this just is something, like you said, something to monitor, something to look over, because if it becomes a problem, that might mean he has to maybe sit on the days after that, and then you can bring somebody else into DH. Maybe that gets Kim into the lineup for once. I don't know.
So, I mean, we should talk about that, right? Because it was another night where the Dodgers were facing a right-hander, and no Ha-Seong Kim. Is he caught up in the numbers game? I think that's what it is, right? Like, they're gonna play Conforto. They want Edman in the lineup. It just feels like right now, Kim is sort of the odd man out in this situation.
He is, and it's unfortunate too, because there's another right-hander on the mound today in Stephen Kolek. So that hopefully this is a game that Kim can get into, but it is continuing to go with Michael Conforto is starting to be you're stopping a guy from playing, and you're stopping a guy from seeing whether he can hit velocity, whether he can hit lefties, whether he can maintain his speed and his bat over a long period of time. Instead of just having him coming in, once or twice a week, hitting 400 in those 2 games, and then sitting for a while. Eventually you're going to have to get to what the best lineup is, Parker, and what Ha-Seong Kim is doing. He's proving that it's time to go, and what Michael Conforto is doing is proving that it's not unlucky. I know we'll talk about this with Jeff on Friday, but he truly, truly believes that Michael Conforto is the most unlucky player in baseball. Second most unlucky player in baseball. You can't say that after 200 at-bats. I'm sorry.
3-point or 4-point higher OBP than Teoscar, so watch out.
Yeah, it's still like 302.
Exactly. No, hashtag let Kim play. It's coming up in the chat. Just like hashtag let Parker play in the softball game. I feel how Kim feels. You're right, but I understand, Greg, Marcus. This is somebody who can actively get on base for this team to manufacture runs consistently, and they're not putting him on base, or just in general, they're not putting him in the game. I don't know. I need to get down there on the field, talk to some of these coaches, and get a feel of maybe why. Maybe see if this is more of a Greg. I can do it.
You're going there today, so go
Yeah,
talk.
yeah. I can get down there today.
Coaches.
I'll be there. Maybe Beto will bring me down again. But the thing is, whether this is, like you said, a numbers thing, getting caught up in it or not, there has to come to a certain point where after 200 at-bats, you just say, we're doing what's best for the team, and Kim is what's best for the team. I mean, it's not like he's getting at-bats down in OKC. They're keeping him here. So use him.
Yeah, I think that's the other part of it, right? Is that they're keeping him here. So it's not like he's getting those chances. I mean, that was part of the reason they brought Dalton Rushing up, was there was nothing else left for him to accomplish in Oklahoma City. They at least have a plan for Rushing, knowing he's going to play a couple times a week. I would guess he may play today. We'll see when the lineup comes out in a few hours. But with Kim, there doesn't seem to be an actual plan, right? Other than he doesn't play against left-handed starters. Like, that's kind of all we know. But beyond that, there just doesn't really seem to be any kind of rhyme or reason as to when he's in the lineup and when he's not. I don't know. I think we're all sort of wondering, and Dave Roberts, I think, is running out of actual reasonings, which is why he's falling back on the we just don't want to play him right now sort of thing. So I can't figure that one out.
No, it is. I mean, he has 202 at bats. If you want to have these awful numbers to actually look at, 202 at bats, he has 61 strikeouts. His OPS is 582. It's below 600. That's really bad. 750 is like your league average. 582 is such a horrendous looking number. And so again, that's, to me, yes, he can have some hard hit balls that happen to be at outfielders, but after a certain time, it's no longer unlucky. It's just who you are. And 202 at bats to me is who you are.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, like there's a part of me, and this is just me being optimistic, right? That if somehow Conforto survives on this roster, I just have this weird feeling that he's going to somehow go ham in the playoffs. But the question is, does he make it that long to even get that opportunity? I don't know. And it's just every day getting harder and harder to justify having him in. Because as you mentioned, our text chain, I mean, not only is he not hitting, it's not like he's a spectacular defensive outfielder either. We've seen Kike Hernandez come in late innings, whether it's to pinch hit, whether it's to play defense. So it's not like, for everything about James Outman that we were frustrated with, we could at least fall back on he plays a good center field. Like, you don't even get that with Michael Conforto at all right now. Looking at tonight, game 3 of the 4-game series. It's Kolek going against Emmett Sheehan, who's the opener, and then we'll see Justin Wrobleski. I saw the poll in the chat, Parker, that will the benches be cleared tonight? 63% of the voters say bring it on. So folks thinking maybe Machado wears one. Is that what we're going with right now?
Well, you got to go after the big dogs, right? So I mean, Karros was for it. That's all I got to say.
I do love the fact, by the way, that Dave Roberts he's not above fanning the flames of this whole thing, right? I mean, let's not forget the playoffs last year when Machado
the ball
literally tossed the ball.
It was like
hear Dave Roberts tell it, like Machado wound up and fired a 100-mile-an-hour fastball
right by his face.
Right. That was wild. I remember hearing the story about it, like hearing Roberts complain about it, and then actually seeing the video afterwards and being like, oh, like I was ready to be outraged and just angry at Machado. And then I saw the video and I was like, oh, like there was no one even remotely in danger.
No, it was like tossed to the side, happened to go towards the Dodger dugout. But you know what? Shout out to Dave Roberts for pouring some gas on this fire in this rivalry, as though it really needs any of it. So anyway, should be a lot of fun. We'll be back with you, of course, tomorrow to talk about as the Dodgers try to take the first 3 of this series and continue to stay hot against the Padres and maybe put some distance between themselves and the Giants, who, side note, they add Rafael Devers. They only scored 2 runs in his first game. So, yeah, so much for that. By the way, do you know Mark Willard?
Yes.
Willard, he used to work at ESPN. He put in on Twitter, he goes, the whole lineup just feels different now.
Okay. I mean, they may feel different. The results were pretty much the same. They scored 2 runs and they lose to the Guardians last night. So that's something to monitor as well. In the meantime, stick around. Travis and DeMarco coming up here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Thanks to everybody in the chat for participating. Thanks to LAX. Thanks to Anthony Jets for putting it, because everybody's in the home studios today. Parker's at home. Greg's at home. I'm always at home. But thanks to Anthony for putting this up and on the YouTubes as well. Back with you tomorrow, 8:30 to 8:55, talking about this here on the Blue Review. For Parker, for Greg, I'm Marcus. We'll see you then.
See you.